it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhaled it.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, you know, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great.
Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's time for Toker Talk Radio. It's Thursday, July 25th, 2013. And I'm here in my hour two all by myself. Aww, it's a bummer. Yeah, Brian, if you didn't hear the news from earlier, Brian the Red is no longer with us. No, he's not dead. He's not dead. I'm not dead. I'm feeling fine. No, Brian the Red is fine. He's just, Babylon, you got to fight Babylon, right? And part of that is making money. And, or that is Babylon. Money is I'm not so sure on the whole Babylon thing. Anyway, Brian needs to make money. It's kind of the same thing that, happened with Carrie too. They love volunteering. They love doing this, but I do this from 3 to 5 in the afternoons, and that's kind of when jobs happen. And so for, if you need to make money, that's what happens. So I will continue to keep doing this, though, because I'm not qualified to work at 7-Eleven. They don't like my pee. And I will just keep doing this because I know it's what I was meant to do. So I will do it. And as people can come in and join on the show, come hang out in our brand new expansive studio. God, I love this place. All I do, I got to get some, still a little echoey. Got to get some foam, get some rugs, but we'll get there. But we'll keep doing this. I've got podcast productions now going out for a couple of different organizations now and getting some great sponsorship. And speaking of great sponsorship, oh my goodness, I am headed this weekend to Minneapolis, St. Paul for the first time ever. I've never been to Minneapolis, St. Paul. So this will be cool. I'm happy to go there. Even though it is Minnesota Vikings land, I will go in all my Packers gear. You know me, folks. I'll be in all my Packers gear. But headed to Minneapolis on the invite of Minnesota Normal. And they've been great supporters of the show. And apparently having some meeting with Minnesota Normal. They're showing some of the presentations from the last Aspen conference, including my Box Canyon that I did at a previous conference. So that'll be interesting. And then apparently there is a panel discussion and a showing of the movie Breaking the Taboo, and Sir Richard Branson will be there. And so crossing my fingers here that we can get to see Sir Richard Branson, and crossing them double that we can get an interview. Might be able to get an interview. We're going to see what we can do. If it's possible, I will do it. And if so, might even be able to get it published in a very popular magazine about getting high all the time. Also, we have got, actually I was going to have a housewarming party this weekend, for our new place, but now I'll be in Minnesota. And I've never been to Minnesota, so that'll be my 18th state, in 5 years of activism. Also, we have got, coming down the stairs here, I believe, Left Wing Larry, the other resident here of the Buck and Bronco house, is making his way down the stairs. Hey, Larry. Hey. Come on over here, buddy. have to get a camera on you now.
All right.
This is good because I haven't tested that mic out yet. We can see if it's working.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1.
I'm hearing nothing there. Well, what the heck? Oh, got it turned up, Russ. There you go. See, I'm doing Brian's job now. I'm not keeping up. Do you need headphones? So you can be able to hear what we're saying.
Oh, okay.
There you are.
What's that in the background there?
That's a beautiful, beautiful field, Boise State. There. Let's see what you would look like. That I think you'd look good on that field. Let's see how you. Yeah, let's see if we can get you on that field there. I'm not sure about all the different cameras, but there we got to aim down a bit. There you are. Have to fix that background a little bit, but we'll have to find a Ohio State background for you.
Right. We're going to have. Well, that's basically it. Green grass. You know, most everybody's got that. But
most everybody. What are you trying to say? There we go. But yeah, the new green screen is working great. We're able to get different backgrounds. So, been out and about here. You've just been here in Portland for a week or two, and what do you think?
Well, my opinion changes by the day as to what it is. I at first thought it was San Francisco moved north. Now I'm kind of convinced that it might be Europe moved west.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a certain type of vibe here to Portland, Oregon, for sure. I think a lot of people picked up on the first Keep Portland Weird bumper sticker.
Right, exactly. One of the first bumper stickers I saw was Keep Portland Weird.
I saw a tweet today from one of my comedian friends here in Portland that said it was something along the lines of, went out for coffee this morning, saw a woman eating breakfast with a live snake on her lap. Thanks, Portland. That's very Portland, actually. You could see that. Portland, you could definitely see that happening. All right, well, we got to take a little break and pay a couple bills, but when we come back, I've got a story for you that I found very interesting. This is Annabelle Bugle. I love that name, Annabelle Bugle, writing in the Huffington Post, cataloging the 40-year failure of the war on drugs. So we'll take a look at some drug war statistics when we come back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. Please do not give up your precious liberties. There's nothing wrong with standing up for our constitutional rights, and in fact, it's the only way to honor the Constitution that recognizes our natural rights. Treat law enforcement with respect and respect the Constitution by standing up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak to my attorney, Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa has more than a decade of experience in federal and California courts and graduated from Yale University, Stanford Law School, and Trial Lawyers College. Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215. Or on the web at www.omarfigueroa.com.
Welcome back, everybody. 9 after 4. That's Green Sky Bluegrass you're hearing. Tune is called Doing My Time. All right, so we're back here hanging out with Left Wing Larry. And no, I didn't give you that nickname. You came with that, right?
Actually, an old boss of mine. Of course, if she hears that I'm calling her an old boss of mine, former boss of mine, Laura gave me that nickname, or somebody around the resort did, and I just kind of attached to it because it's very appropriate.
Yeah, all
very
right.
appropriate.
Yep, Larry made sure that when we got the cable TV install, that I found where the HD feed of MSNBC was.
Exactly.
So Left Wing Larry is in the house. Now we need to get Left Wing Larry and Wiz Khalico in here to see who is more left, you or Khalico.
That might be a contest.
Might be a contest.
'Cause I know he's very left.
I
listened to him on the air enough that I know he's very left.
And this is an interesting situation. Lieber in the chat room is saying, I wish you two the best of luck cohabitating. Larry's got the entire upstairs. I've got the entire basement, and the middle floor is like Switzerland.
Right.
This is neutral ground.
It's neutral ground for everybody.
But that's where the TV is.
That's where the big TV is.
Yeah. We're going to have some good college football this Saturday here. All right. Question from T-Ounce 420. Okay. When did the governor pen HB 3460? That's the dispensary bill. When did he sign it? I don't remember exactly. It was a couple weeks ago, I think. But Oregon has the dispensary bill taken out. Lively Lieber wants Mr. Lieber in the left-wing contest, too.
Okay.
We'll put them all through there. Yes, we have just one refrigerator in the home. It's quite empty at this point.
Well, it's getting there.
We're getting
I
more
got bacon
stuff
today, and I got eggs yesterday, and...
Don't tell us you got bacon. Bacon Dan will come running over. Bacon Dan, you can eat the first...
As a matter of fact, I picked up some maple nut chewies at Fred Meyer's, so maple nut chewies, bacon, and then we'll get some of those bacon bars you keep
bacon and maple
about.
bars, yes.
Bacon maple bars. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I promised before we went to break that we talk a little bit about the 40-year drug war statistics, and this is stuff we've covered before, but I like seeing it again. It popped up in Huffington Post under the byline of Annabelle Bugle, and I just like that name, Annabelle Bugle. And the headline is, after 40-year fight, illicit drug use at all-time high. Get it? All-time high. Yeah. All right. So back in 1970, we had Richard Nixon was president, and he said, quote, America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive. End quote. You remember Nixon, right?
Oh, very well.
Left Wing Larry didn't like Nixon much, I bet. Although, really,
I really, I saw some good things that he did, and of course, as far as his drug war went, though, I saw some horrible things that he did, and he just bent over backwards. And then, of course, after him came the all-time worst of them all, Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah. But by today's Republican standards, Nixon couldn't win a primary.
Oh no,
he'd be far too liberal.
He could not get. He's far too midstream for any of the primary people.
Well, after 40 years here, we're taking a look after, Nixon said this, and within 2 years, he launched the DEA. So we've had, the DEA is over 40 years old now, too. And in April, the GAO, Government Accountability Office, noted that, quote, ONDCP, the drugs are, right, has developed a 5-year strategy to reduce illicit drug use and its consequences. But our analysis shows lack of progress toward achieving 4 of the strategy's 5 goals for which primary data are available, end quote. So 5 main goals, only really making any progress on 1. The other 4 either stand still or getting worse. And how much does this cost us all? $1 trillion. That's 1,000 billion. That's $1,000,000,000. Think about that. $1,000,000,000 is what we've spent on the war on drugs. That's 1,000,000 kids that could have gone through college, and another 1,000,000 kids that could have gone through college, and probably 10 million kids that could have gone through college on that. 1,000,000,000. And the population of Americans that are incarcerated for drug offenses, people in jail for drugs, has gone from 40,000 when Ronnie Reagan took office, to 500,000 today. 500,000 people in jail just for drug offenses. And part of this, of course, is the rise of the privatized prison corporation.
Exactly.
This idea that, we're going to, make a profit out of crime. Crime doesn't pay unless you have prison stocks, right? That's exactly what's going on here. It incentivizes the creation of criminals. Any business has to exist by the creation of more customers or more whatever it makes, more sales. And if what you sell are jail cell beds, you need more prisoners. They're contracting with states like my home state of Idaho, where they're contracting with the state to say, hey, yeah, well, because prisons lose money. It's a budget drain. Oh, it's tough on our budgets. I know, we'll hire this private corporation to do it for us. They say they'll take care of all our prisons, just as long as we keep them 90% full. Well, then what is the state to do but to make sure that there's a lot of people getting arrested? Make sure that there's enough crime out there to justify continuing to have prisons. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands, about a year or two ago, I reported on how they were closing 8 prisons. They had to close them. Didn't have enough criminals for them. Had to close them. It's just remarkable to me. And there's a thing out right now on a website called rehabs.org. And so, I was nervous about the source when I first checked it out, but it's a nice little infographic on all these data on, how many people are in prison, how much money has been spent. It's really, really worth a look there. And to think that all of this, if we'd have spent, I was responding on Facebook today to some blithering idiot about drug testing. And it was the fact that there was a school that was proposing drug testing, and then there was this parent who put together a petition to oppose it. And, did her homework, right? Put down the studies that showed, the pediatrics, American Association of Pediatrics says no, this random drug testing, you shouldn't do it. Creates trust issues between children and authority. It doesn't catch the people you want to catch on the hard drugs, but it does catch the people that are on the marijuana. It incentivizes kids to choose synthetic marijuana or alcohol or prescription drugs or illicit drugs over marijuana because marijuana is the one that stays in their system long enough. It ends up costing you more than you end up saving in anything. And it also incentivizes kids to not get into extracurricular activities when that is the one thing that could pull them out of hanging out with the wrong crowd. So anyway, she put together this petition, and the school district superintendent or principal or whoever it was that was opposing her came back and, it's all for the children, and there was these overdoses. Don't you know that these kids overdosed? Gosh, we could have saved those kids if only we made them pee in a cup. Really? You really believe that? You really believe that randomized drug testing, if it were implemented everywhere at all levels, would prevent drug overdoses? Really? You know what prevents drug overdoses? Getting people clean drugs in a monitored setting with medical care near them.
Exactly.
That works. We've seen that work in Switzerland. We've seen it work in Vancouver, Portugal. Works in lots and lots of places. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm responding to this lady who had basically, in response to that story, she was saying, well, these parents should be ashamed of themselves for putting out this petition. What do they think of the children? And blah, 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 blah. And it just goes to show that the facts don't really matter to some of these people that are anti-drug. It's really an emotional thing. It's, my God, how could you not test the kids? It's for their own good. My God, how could you sit there and let kids die? That's what they really think of us, is that we want the kids somehow smoking pot and then going on to heroin and dying of drug overdoses. What we realize is that taking drugs is kind of like having sex. You probably don't want your teenager doing it too young. You ought to talk to your teenager about it and what the real facts are. But biology is biology, and eventually they're going to do it. They're going to bump uglies. They're going to make the beast with two backs. It's going to happen. So arm them with the prevention strategies and the harm reduction to prevent the worst things from happening. The same thing applies to drugs. It's biology. People take drugs. Well, right on time. People take drugs, did I say? Gosh,
4:20.
I guess we better get to that. It is 4:20 here on the Pacific Time Zone. Hanging out with Left Wing Larry. Thank you for being here. I'll be right back.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
I'm a reefer smoking man.
Wood Pipe Smoke Shop and Speakeasy is your source for cannabis community gear in southern Wisconsin. Owners Brian and Tammy Wood are located in Kendall, just outside of Madison, and they've got everything for the smoking enthusiast, including a full assortment of pipes, water pipes, hookahs, bubblers, one-hitters, and so much more. They're open noon to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and can help you with your detoxification therapies as well. Call 608-466-7473 or email woodpipes@yahoo.com for more information. That's 608-466-7473 or email woodpipes@yahoo.com. And as always, go pack go.
Let's remix it.
That's Anemic with Nemesis. That's some of the hard rockin' music you'll hear on the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. And yeah, we're having an Herb Thrasher Flower Hour tonight, or tomorrow night. It's Thursday still. Settle down, Russ. But tomorrow night, Friday night, Herb Thrash will be here for the first one in the brand new Rolla J Studios. So looking forward to that. Tomorrow we'll have some Big Daddy Fink Funky Roller Rink. But folks, I've been double whammied here. I got Brian, who's left, for money. He has to go find money, which is fine. And Timmy is going to take a break. Big Daddy Fink is going to take a little vacation. He's on his summer break, right? Okay. So there's going to be replays of Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Rink starting tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific. And replays of Red Eyes Reggae Flashback starting tonight at 5 p.m. So great music shows. We got a bunch of them in the banks, but it'll be a while before we have some new ones. Now I'm sad. All right, want to catch up on some housekeeping details here for 420 Radio. We are 24-hour cannabis community radio, marijuana legalization radio, and completely listener and sponsor supported. That means your donations directly pay the bills. Literally. I mean, I got a donation from a guy after I made a complaining tweet on Twitter about Kevin Sabet, because Kevin Sabet was whining that the biggest donation they had gotten to date was only $10,000. Oh, is that all? Only 10 grand. Gee. Sorry, Kevin. Gosh, sorry you're struggling so bad. So I kind of made a note of that on Twitter, and the guy sent me $100. Oh, like, well, here's $100, dude. Fantastic. And that went immediately to take care of Brian expense for the bus pass. Okay. So, this all works out. I mean, literally, when you're donating, you are helping us out to pay some very important bill. We've got high-speed bandwidth here that we got to pay for. We got the lights. We got the rent itself that has to be paid. And I got to eat, too. So you can help out by becoming a VIP member of 420 Radio. You can go to 420radio.org, and there's a button up at the top that says Donate to support 420 Radio. Just click on that. You can set up your easy monthly donation. Now, there has been a change to our easy monthly donations. Previously, we had bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and you could join for $420, $1420, $42, or $142. And those rates are no longer. However, before you panic, those of you people out there that are already subscribed at those rates, you can keep them. You can stick with that rate. It's not going to end. It shouldn't expire on you, right? So if you're on for $420 a month, that's going to stay $420 a month. And you'll be able to that'll just stay the way it is. But should you lapse, don't lapse. Because should you lapse and have to re-sign up, it'll be at the new rates. So here's the new rates, folks. We've got now a bronze VIP is $9.99 a month. I'm abandoning the $420 thing. I was told by my advisor. So $9.99 for our monthly subscription sustainer supporting donation. Comes direct out of your checking account, PayPal, however you want to do it, credit card, debit card, it all works. So $9.99 for bronze, $19.99 for silver, $29.99 for gold, $39.99 for platinum, and the new $99.99 Unobtainium VIP. So we got 5 levels of VIP now. The bronze and the silver are mostly for individual supporters, people that just want to donate individually. And then gold, gold, platinum, and unobtainium are for business donors who want some advertising with their donation. And you can fill out the information for your advertisement when you make the donation as well. So if you can, join, help out. We'll also have a one-time donation button coming up pretty soon on the website in case you can, I know what it's like to be poor, dudes. I work nonprofit for a long time. Nonprofit really just means sustenance at this point for me. So I understand, but if you can kick down $420 now and then or $9.99 a month, I tell you, it really, really helps us. We want to keep this thing going. We're building momentum. We're getting more and more recognition. We're going to be at all the High Times Cannabis Cups. We're going to be at all the normal conferences, as many of the hemp fests as we can go to. Go out and cover news events like this deal with Sir Richard Branson this weekend. And to be able to do that, it's going to take some money. So if you can help us out, we totally appreciate it.
Yes.
There.
Coming up next month, it'll be my first Hemp Fest.
Oh, really? That's right. Your first ever Hemp Fest.
My first ever Hemp Fest, and actually my first ever event. Big event.
Also, your first event is Hemp Fest.
Hemp Fest is the first one, yeah.
Let me get that closer to you there.
And then of course, next month will be the Cannabis Cup in Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never been to a Cannabis Cup before. I've been to Amsterdam, but never there during Cannabis Cup.
That's good.
I've partaken from their wares there, the winners.
Now, what if your finances allowed me to, this is from the chat room coming in, if I as an individual wanted to donate at the unobtainium level? Oh, absolutely. Sure. And the advertising that comes with it can be a shout out. Sure. It can be, whatever you want. It can be me reading something in a dramatic voice for you, if you like. Like, this might be fun. I'm sorry. Gothic Prophet can't come to the phone right now. He's been abducted by the Drug Enforcement Administration. Please leave a message, which will immediately be transcribed by the National Security Agency. Thank you. I could make some money with that, right? Little ringtones and voice messages.
Bling, bling, bling.
Yeah, so you can you can have that copy of Bathtub Russ. Oh, God, that picture will never die. Georgia Mom wants to know if I'm coming to Key West this year. I don't know that I'll make it to Key West, but I have a certain friendly someone in Miami who's fond of flying me there. And if finances and schedules allow, in the first weekend of December, perhaps. We shall find out. But yeah, I want to make more trips back to the south. It's funny. It's like Larry just got out of Florida.
Right.
And I'm
got out of the heat.
And I'm going there in August.
You're going to die.
I know. It doesn't make much sense, does it? But lots of good interviews we're going to try to get with Robert Platshorn. It's already confirmed. Kathy Jordan is replied. She's the namesake of the Kathy Jordan Medical Marijuana Act in Florida that is going to pass one of these years really soon. We're still trying to get a hold of Steve Burke, who's running for the mayor of Miami Beach. You also know him from the Pot Shop parody. Remember Pot Shop and Should Be Legalized? In fact, I'm going to bring those up later on in the show. I think we'll play those a little bit later here. That's what we'll do. We'll bring some Steve Burke videos up and see if we can raise his attention, get some Steve Burke on the show. And we're also going to try to find Kim Russell from People United for Medical Marijuana. These people live all over Florida, though, and I understand it's a long state.
It is a very long state, especially when you go from Tallahassee to, say, West Palm, Miami.
Yeah.
Then to Key West.
Yeah. Key West is a drive really all in itself, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we'll be out there in Florida August 6th through the 15th, and then flying back into Seattle on the 16th for the Seattle Hemp Fest, which we will be a part of with Oil Slick, Handmade Apparel, Clay Gooding, the artist, Happy Daddy Tools, and I want to say another one, but my mind's blanking. So yeah, we got a 20 by 20. We got a huge area. 420 radios significantly displayed. I just got word from HempFest today because they've got a rule at HempFest against PAs. But what it's against is blasting your PA out of your booth to the people walking by or offending the other vendors. If it's in your booth, they don't have a problem with it as long as it's confined to the area of the booth. Well, I'm going to be doing live 420 radio shows. So yeah, this is good news that we're going to be able to bring some little measure of PA. Now, the question is, how in the hell do I get it there? This is where I may need some volunteer help. Somehow I need to get a couple of speakers and board and the gear, because I'll be taking my remote studio with me. So I already have the remote studio on the plane. Anyway, we'll get all that figured out.
I thought we were driving to HempFest.
Well, you'll be driving to HempFest. I'm flying in.
Oh, you're flying in.
I'm flying in from Miami.
Well, I'll be hauling part of your stuff for you then.
Well, that works out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure that was all very interesting. We're gonna take a break here. When we come back, we'll have some music from Steve Burke and also more of the 40-year statistics on the war on certain American citizens using non-pharmaceutical, non-alcoholic, tobacco-free drugs. You're listening to Toker Talk Radio on the Russ Belville Show. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What makes something funny? How does humor impact health and psychological well-being? How can you incorporate humor into everyday life? A concise, reader-friendly introduction to an important but often underappreciated topic in modern psychology, Humor 101 explains the role of comedy, jokes, and wit in the sciences and discusses why they are so important to understand. Psychology professor Dr. Mitch Earlywine draws from his personal experiences in stand-up comedy to focus on how humor can regulate emotion, reduce anxiety, and diffuse tense situations, expose pretensions, build personal relationships, and much more. He irreverently debunks the pseudoscience on the topic of humor and leaves readers not only funnier, but better informed. It's part of the Psych 101 series from Springer Publishing, Humor 101 by Dr. Mitch Earlywine, Ph.D.
Fun.
What's happening, cool cats? This is Big Daddy, and I want you to cruise on over to the Funky Roller Rink. We'll be grooving all night long. Doors open at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, every Thursday night, right here on RadicalRuss.com.
Funky-licious.
From the excellent band Revolution, Courage to Grow. We're big fans of their music. Welcome back. It's Toker Talk Radio, 38 after the hour here in the Pacific time zone. And we hope you're having a good day and that marijuana legalization is coming your way. We promise. We are working on it here out west, and we're going to roll over this country like a big, huge wave. We're coming your way. Even Oklahoma.
And Florida.
And Florida. Definitely Florida. But, I think Florida actually, and you exemplify this, Florida is going to turn not because a bunch of young activists want it, but because seniors are going to go, wait a minute.
Seniors, right. They need it for the meds down there, and Platshorn is doing a great job. Too bad he can't get out of the state. He's still stuck there, right?
As far as I know, his probation officer's
still
been a little better, I think, but I think he's still stuck in Florida. But we'll find out.
Hopefully he can make it to Hempfest this year.
Yeah, we'll find out when we talk to him. But this is definitely, Ethan Nadelman even brought it up the other day at Aspen Ideas Fest. Is that it's the older people that are going to finally go, well, wait a minute, that was all bullshit you were talking about, and this actually works better than the Ambien, and it works better than the Tylenol, and it works better than the Prozac, and yeah, it's going to have a lot.
Without the side effects.
Yeah, and it is gonna take a social shift for them to turn off the pot smokers or the dirty hippies of the 60s that hate America.
Right. Those dirty hippies of the 60s are now they're older statesmen.
Yeah, that's true. A few of them are, as a matter of fact. I've seen those old pictures of Bill and Hillary.
Right.
Some damn hippies. Yeah, for sure. And we are really hopeful that this will take place because the statistics are pretty damning on this war on drugs, war on certain American citizens using non-pharmaceutical, non-alcoholic, tobacco-free drugs, which, by the way, is inspired by someone who we hold in great esteem here at the Russ Belville Show. And we were just talking about him during the break, the late Gatewood Galbraith. Mm-hmm. Gatewood Galbraith was just an amazing American, amazing Kentuckian who always spoke out for hemp and marijuana legalization and ran for governor and was one of those people who had a quip, man, who could just nail it. And honestly, my non-alcoholic tobacco-free drugs reference is my, faint attempt of praise for Gatewood Galbraith. Oh, our alarm's going off.
The guard dog's up there.
By the way, the new Rolla J Studios doesn't have a Roscoe, but it does have a Katie.
And she's
big.
Big
old German Shepherd. Anyway, here's the Gatewood Galbraith quote that we were looking for.
Okay.
For all you petrochemical, pharmaceutical, military, industrial, transnational, corporate, fascist, elite bastards, I got your karma right here. Ronald Reagan and George Bush aren't conservatives. They're aliens. That's great. Oh, let's see. This is fantastic.
I'm actually very conservative. I want to go back pre-1933 as far as the drug war goes.
There you go. Looking back to pre-33, actually you get back into the 1850 to about 1920. Yeah, just about all drugs were legal. Right. Just about. Here's another Gatewood quote. Our relationship with Mother Earth is the most basic relationship that we have. Goodness gracious, everything's just going crazy. All right, she's going to pay for this. Hello? Hi, you know I do a show at this time, don't you? No, I'm doing one right now. In fact, you're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. Say hi to everyone. I'll have to call you later. No, tonight. I will. Bye. Yes, this is professional radio, folks. All right, let's make sure that's turned down, Russ. Goodness gracious. So sorry, people. First day in the new studio and everything's gone to hell. All right. So let's go back to, where were we? Gatewood Galbraith. Yes. Here's the quote. Our relationship with Mother Earth is the most basic relationship that we have in this birth-death cycle. And when a government tells us that we cannot go to our mother source that is Earth and plant a seed in God's green earth and utilize the green plant that comes out of there in its natural form for our fiber and food and medicine needs, then that government is awry, and that government no longer represents the best interest of the citizens of this country. End quote. Love it.
He nailed it.
Nailed it. So that's the little. We were just talking about that on the break, and I want to make sure I gave Gatewood the proper shout outs there. So, but I want to get back to these 40-year statistics on the war on drugs, on what this is costing us, and try to imagine. Again, we're talking about a million that we spend on the war on drugs over 60 years or over the 40 years, right? Here's another damning statistic. The government now spends, and this is from After the 40-Year Fight, Illicit Drug Use at All-Time High by Annabelle Bugle, printed in Huffington Post. The government now spends around $12.6 billion a year to $12.6 billion per year. Let me slow down on that. $12.6 billion per year to house and care for these hundreds of thousands of inmates, a cost of $25,251 per person, according to the Federal Register. We are spending $25,000 a year for each one of the 500,000 people who are behind bars for a drug offense. Now compare that to the $10,591 spent to provide public education to a single student. We're spending 2.5 times more per year on an incarcerated person than we're spending on a student. And that's just simple social economics. You can spend money early on education and prevention and healthcare and helping people, or you can spend it later housing them when they've committed crimes out of desperation, out of ignorance, out of hatred, out of whatever, desperate situation they're in, however poorly they were raised, whatever it might be. And it just seems so simple to me, and it seems so freaking obvious that spending a single dollar on trying to stop people, as Gatewood Galbraith said, using something in its natural state that came out of the earth, right? There would be some logic, kind of, maybe, to being upset about processed cocaine, processed heroin, methamphetamines, things that had a natural state, not so much with meth, but, say cocaine, coca leaf. The peasants and the workers in Colombia and Ecuador and other countries chew coca leaf, especially in the higher altitudes. They chew the coca leaf just to kind of gets them up, keeps them going, right? It's like a coffee break to them. It's no big deal. They pick a leaf, they chew it. It's a natural thing. I can see a logical distinction between that and smoking weed versus man-made transformation of said thing into something much more potent and troublesome, right? There would at least be, I still don't think it should be illegal, but at least I could see some consistency in saying, all right, well, cocaine and heroin and meth, God, these are these terrible things that have been brewed up by people to do with no good intent, whatever. I wouldn't agree with it.
Most of it was developed by the pharmaceutical corporations,
too. Hell yeah.
Go back to the Bayer Corporation.
Go back to Bayer, absolutely.
Those people that supplied the gas for the gas chambers in Hitler's Germany. Bayer Corporation. Let me repeat that again. Bayer Corporation.
Like your aspirin?
Like your aspirin. Like your insecticides you buy for your garden. Like your... anything made by Bayer Corporation produced gas for the gas chambers in Germany during World War II.
Yeah, absolutely true. And so that's this disparate problem of, that's where the logic, I could at least see the logic of saying, here you manufactured something and it's really bad for humans. But when you ban a coca leaf or a pot plant or an opium poppy or, a mushroom fungus or a certain kind of toad whose secretions cause hallucinogenic effects.
Licking toads.
Bufo toads, by the way. That's the name of them. When you say those are controlled, those are illegal, you're actually claiming a supremacy over nature, evolution, or God, however you want to frame it. Really, that's the government saying, well, yeah, see these plants over there? God should have never done that. Whatever God was thinking with this, bad idea. Get him out of here.
Right.
What sort of hubris and arrogance do we have to actually think we can control a weed? That it's a controlled substance. If defining a weed as a controlled substance actually worked, they'd have done it with crabgrass, wouldn't they? It doesn't work.
Let's ban crabgrass.
They'd have done it with the damn. You don't know much about this here, you will find out. The raspberry and blackberry bushes around here are
I love them.
Are like weeds. They're like freaking everywhere.
But I love, especially the blackberries.
Oh, we'll go over to Cousin Kenny's house. He's got this big. He lives by like 6 adjacent soccer fields that are all lined with 12-foot tall blackberry bushes.
Oh my God!
We get out there in August and it's just.
Pick away.
5-gallon buckets, multiple. It's amazing. And people just all over this thing. It's just, that's some Portland fun. Hey, but we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I found that video from Steve Burke. We're going to get that on for you. And he's the guy running for mayor of Miami Beach that we hope to talk to in August when we're down there in Florida. That's right, August in Florida. Because June and July in Scottsdale wasn't hot enough for me. Hey,
get to the beach. Get to the beach where there's a breeze anyways. Don't stay
We're going to take a break, folks. This is Chain Gang of 1974. They got a new album out. Check it out. Be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Don't forget to bring it down.
Puff, 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 puff,
in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pot. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the pot shop. Ice in my fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, that's a stoned ass donkey. Rolling in hella high, looking like it's FIFA time. Dominating all my friends as I eat some chili fries. Draped in the Snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably shouldn't have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit, it was 99 cents. I'll be blazing and smoking it, about to go and get some munchies snacks. Passing up on those Cracker Jacks, Reese's Pieces are where it's at. Gotta get me some soda pop, Cottonmouth has been creeping up. I can't remember where I put my keys, yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take your grandpa's ride, I'ma take your grandpa's ride. No, for real, ask your grandpa, can I take a 65? DeVille cruising to my local Publix. Nothing better than rolling with two super fly chicks. They have frozen burritos, I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben & Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do, send the feds there? Hell no, the DEAs would be like, aw, they got volcanoes.
I'm gonna smoke some weed, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop, this is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop, this is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it, it helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Thank your granddad for voting for that guy, Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol and tobacco, pharmaceutical prisons. I'll take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night, all those motherfuckers, and bribing Congress out of sight, all those motherfuckers. They'd be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making wealth? Anti-marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop it because of all the special interest. I call that getting swindled and pimp shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old, so it's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, look into my political telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't.
Hey Obama, stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed, fool.
I'm gonna smoke some weed, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop, this is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs, it's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed, the people have agreed. These special interest groups have kept these laws with bribery. I'm gonna smoke some weed, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop, this is fucking awesome.
Is that your grandma's pipe?
Don't let the alcohol, tobacco, pharmaceutical, and prison corporations win. Sign Steve Burke's petitions. Share the video with friends. That's Steve Burke with the Pot Shop Macklemore parody. Also did this song, Should Be Legalized, the Rihanna Eminem song parody. And check it out, Should Be Legalized and Pot Shop by Steve Burke, who's going to be running for mayor, or is running for mayor of Miami Beach, Florida. So we're going to talk to him about that when we get down to Florida, and hopefully we get in touch with him soon and we can set up some dates to talk, because that sounds very interesting. Guy who likes weed, makes videos, running for mayor. I'm for that. Hey, if Jesse Ventura can be governor of Minnesota, anything is possible, right? Sonny Bono was a congressman, right?
Right.
Ronald Reagan was a president. Anything is possible in this country. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor, for God's sake.
Who's the latest one that's in there? Senator Al Franken.
Oh, yeah, Al Franken.
My friend Al.
I loved Al Franken back in the day on Saturday Night Live. All the old, there's a lot of cocaine skits they did back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Anyway, before we go, I want to wind up on the 40-year drug statistics. We had already pointed out that $25,000 a person to put him in prison, $10,000 we spend on a student. We ought to flip that around.
What about the children?
What about the children? How many kids could you put through? I mean, this is something, and get on my soapbox a little bit, but some things I think are for the public good. And one of them is having an educated populace. That's what led to our greatest expansion economically in this country, is when we had lots of people coming back from World War II, getting on the GI Bill, going to school, getting educated, creating a big burgeoning middle class in this country, right? If we were to just fund education, really fund our schools, our public schools, and get kids through to an undergraduate degree, the problem is, though, it wouldn't be an immediate 1 quarter, 1 year, or even 5 year goal here. It's something you have to undertake as a generation. But if we stopped this drug war and turned around and think, part of what law enforcement has a problem with the drug war is job security, right? What jobs are they going to have? Well, let's transfer. I remember when I was working in computer software training, it was because all these jobs, manufacturing jobs, got shipped off to China and Malaysia and, all Mexico and so on. And all these guys needed to retrain for the computer jobs of the future, right? Let's have a similar program for the law enforcement community to train them for the jobs of the future, train them for more school jobs. Let's get our classrooms to where there's only like 12 kids per classroom.
I got an idea. How about we bring the troops back from Iraq and send the drug warriors over there to train the cops in Iraq?
There we go.
Okay.
All the drug cops.
Send them right on over there.
Yeah, we'll bring back
the troops
and have them as private contractors go over there, and then they'll have some job security.
Exactly.
They can meet people and shoot at them, and get their thrills that way, At least the people they'll be shooting at have a chance to shoot them back.
Right.
Whatever. All right. So I think Left Wing Larry has solved the problem. That's fantastic. But other things to know. In 2009, drug use was responsible for the deaths of over 37,000 people in the United States, exceeding the number of traffic fatalities for that year. Now, when I hear a statistic like that, I know the design of it is to scare people into thinking, oh my God, drugs are so bad, we got to keep it illegal. No, what I hear from that is we have such a poorly educated drug-consuming population, using it in such risky conditions with such untested, unproven drugs, that 37,000 people died of them. If we had any sort of sense about, clean needles and safe injection sites and drug purity and all that kind of stuff, we could reduce a lot of those deaths. People don't take drugs with the goal of dying. They take them with the goal of having a good time. If we were honest about that and educated people on how to have a good time safely, then we'd see a whole lot fewer deaths from drug overdoses.
Exactly.
But 2009, that was the first time ever drug deaths exceeded traffic fatalities. That's pretty interesting. That's all the time I got here for today. Thanks for joining us here in the brand new Roller J Studios at the Buck and Bronco House here in Portland, Oregon. For Left Wing Larry, I'm Radical Russ. We'll see you tomorrow. And until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
Take a seat, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it,